She looks at you, but only when she thinks you won't notice. She starts talking differently around you. Laughs a little louder, touches her necklace when you're near. She asks about your day, your thoughts, your weekend, but never your relationship. She's always just a friend, always cool, always casual, but something in her eyes lingers. Something in her energy shifts the moment you enter the room. And here's the truth. 99% of men never realize when a woman is secretly into you. She won't announce it. She won't confess it. She won't hand it to you on a silver platter. Instead, she'll bury it under perfectly polite smiles and rehearsed indifference. She'll hide it in body language. She swears you won't decode, and she'll test you, not with words, but with silence, because for a woman, admitting she wants you is vulnerable, risky too much. Too soon could cost her everything. So instead of telling you, she shows you, but only if you know exactly where to look. Most guys miss it. They either overlook the signs or misread them thinking she's just being friendly. But once you learn what to spot, once you understand how women hide desire when they fear rejection or exposure, you'll start to see everything the way she changes her tone. Just for you, the way she subtly competes for your attention, the way she becomes more feminine in your presence without ever saying why. And when you realize that her silence was never lack of interest, just a mask to protect her heart, you'll start playing a whole new game. A game most men never even knew existed. And the best part, once she realizes you saw her, truly saw her without needing to be told, that's when she starts falling. Because she's not just looking for a man to desire her, she's waiting for the man who can read her without her having to say a word. Let's break open the 12 subtle signs she's secretly into you, even if she's doing everything in her power to hide it. There's a reason why most men spend their lives confused about women. It's not because women are complicated, it's because women are careful, especially when it comes to desire. You see, when a woman is genuinely attracted to a man, when she starts to feel that magnetic pull, that electric sense of curiosity and emotional danger, she doesn't always express it directly. Why? Because attraction is vulnerability, and vulnerability is risk of rejection, risk of being misunderstood, risk of being labelled, judged, or seen as too available. So instead of saying, "I want you," she'll say something subtle. She'll make a comment with double meaning. She'll linger in conversations just a little longer than necessary. She'll position herself in your space without fully entering it. Most guys will chalk it up to friendliness. They'll shrug it off as coincidence. And that's the tragedy. They don't see the truth until it's too late, until she gives up, until she emotionally retreats, until she finally assumes he's not that into me. I need to move on. But what if you knew better? What if you had the emotional intelligence to see what's behind the surface? What if you understood the subtle language women use when they're trying to protect their feelings, but still longing for you to notice? That's what separates average men from high-value men. The average man looks for obvious signs. The stoic man reads between the lines. He doesn't need her to confess her feelings because he already sees them in the way she moves, looks, speaks, and shifts when he enters the room. That's the power of masculine awareness, of grounded presence, of emotional precision. Because when you can detect her interest before she admits it, when you can calmly, confidently recognize what she's trying to hide, that's when everything changes. You stop chasing. You stop doubting. You stop being confused by mixed signals. Instead, you become the one she orbits around the man who just gets it. The man who doesn't need to ask if she's interested. Because her energy already answered in this video, I'm going to give you 12 of the most subtle, hidden, and psychologically revealing signs that a woman is secretly into you, even if she's doing everything she can to pretend. Otherwise, these are the cues she gives off when her heart is engaged, but her mouth hasn't caught up when her body is speaking. But her logic is still fighting it when she's silently screaming for you to see her, but she's terrified you might. So if you've ever had a gut feeling, if you've ever wondered, is she actually into me? If you've ever noticed something strange in her behavior, but couldn't quite explain it, this video will give you the clarity you've been searching for. Let's get into the 12 signs, and by the end, you'll never miss the truth again. 1. She remembers things you barely noticed. You said it was just a passing comment. You said you loved a specific brand of coffee, or that rainy days remind you of your childhood. You moved on, but she didn't. Because that tiny detail didn't just land in her ears, it landed in her heart. And weeks later, when she brings it up, when she gifts you that coffee or quotes you word for word, that's not coincidence, that's obsession, disguised as kindness. A woman who's secretly into you starts mentally cataloguing everything you share, not for manipulation, not to impress, but because her subconscious is already investing in your story. In her world, you've already taken up residence, and every word you say becomes a thread. She weaves into her private emotional tapestry. 2, she keeps running into you, but it's not chance at first. It seems random. She shows up at the gym. When you're there, she starts hanging out in places she never mentioned, liking before you think small world. But it's not. It's strategic vulnerability. She wants proximity, not pressure, and she craves your energy, not your attention. Yet. So she constructs situations where being near you feels natural, not forced. Because if she waits for you to invite her into your orbit, she might wait forever. So instead, she tiptoes into it. Unspoken software hidden behind coincidence. But the message is loud. If you're paying attention, I want to be around you, I just don't know how to say it. 3, her eye contact speaks louder than her words ever could. She'll hold your gaze for just a second too long, just long enough for electricity to flicker. Then she'll look away, not out of disinterest, but because she's short-circuiting. Inside her pupils, dilate her breathing shifts. You can feel the atmosphere between you. Thicken. It's not accidental, it's not platonic. That eye contact is a conversation, her emotions trying to speak. Before her logic shuts them up. She doesn't want to look too eager, but she also can't stop herself from checking if you're looking back. And when your eyes lock, it's not just vision, it's vibration. She feels seen, and in that moment she's asking without words, do you feel this too? 4, her laugh becomes a signal, not just a reaction. It's not just about your jokes. It's about how you make her feel. You could say something completely normal. I almost tripped this morning and she'll laugh like it's stand-up comedy. Why? Because around you she feels lighter. Her emotional defenses drop. Her nervous system relaxes and lights up at the same time. And that laughter, that's a feminine release of nervous energy. She's laughing at how alive she feels when you're near. Even if she doesn't admit it, her giggles are small explosions of attraction escaping through her smile. 5, her body always finds a way to face yours. She's talking to someone else, but her feet, they're pointed toward you. Her shoulders lean in your direction. Even when she sits, one part of her body is subtly aimed. Your way, that's not chance, that's instinct. We point ourselves at what we value. And in her case, her body has made a decision. Before her words have, even when she's trying to play it cool, her physical alignment betrays her truth. She's not just near you, she's oriented towards you. That means one thing, you are the gravitational pull in her emotional universe. 6, she asks personal questions that feel a bit too deep. Do you believe in soulmates? What scares you most in life? What kind of woman could actually keep your attention? She says it like it's light conversation, like she's just curious, but it's not casual. It's calculated curiosity born from quiet longing. Because when a woman is secretly into you, she wants to peel back your surface, not just to see who you are, but to see if she could fit there. If your heart has a space she could one day fill. She's not just learning about you, she's imagining what we might look like. 7, she playfully teases you, but monitors your every reaction. She calls you cocky, mocks your music, says you're probably trouble. It's sarcasm with a smile, but it's a test. She wants to see if you'll get insecure, if you'll fold, if you can dance controlled around you. She stumbles over words, fixes her hair 3 times, says something, then instantly corrects herself. She's not acting weird, she's overwhelmed because her attraction to you short-circuits her normal behaviour. You're not just another guy, you're the guy who puts her nervous system into emotional overdrive. That awkwardness isn't a lack of confidence, it's her feelings trying to hide behind a broken poker face. 10, she plays hot and cold over text, but still watches everything you do. She doesn't reply for a day, then watches your story. The second you post, then likes your tweet from last week. She's not being flaky, she's being afraid you'll lose interest if she's too available, afraid she's more into you than you are into her. So she regulates the risk by staying present, but not too close emotionally. She's dancing on the edge because her attraction is real, but her courage is still catching up. 11. She gets emotionally vulnerable, then retreats fast. One day, she opens up, tells you something deep, something painful, something she doesn't usually share. But the next day, she's cold. She pulls back. Why? Because she's terrified, not of you, but of what she revealed. She's worried she said too much, that she scared you off, that she handed you emotional ammo you might use to hurt her. So she goes quiet to see if you'll follow, to see if you're safe, if you're the man who makes her feel wanted, even after she shows you the scars. 12. Her silence is heavier than words. Sometimes she's just quiet, not disinterested, not bored, just intense. There's weight in the air. She wants to say something but doesn't. She wants to reach for you but hesitates. She doesn't know how to tell you what she feels without risking too much. So she says nothing, but her eyes linger, her energy latches on. And that silence, it's not absence, it's overflow. She's not holding back because she doesn't feel anything. She's holding back because she feels too much. So now, you know what seemed like coincidence was connection. What looked like politeness was protection. And every small signal she gave you was a heart, whispering through the cracks of her own fear. Most men miss these signs. They rush, they chase, they push her away by trying to force what was already slowly unfolding. But you're not most men. You're stoic. You observe, you move with purpose, not panic. You read energy, not just words. And that is exactly what women feel in the presence of a grounded man. So here's what you do next. Let her come closer. Let her show more. And when she does, don't fumble the moment. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button, because that tells the algorithm this message mattered. Tap subscribe, because I drop real truths about psychology, attraction, and masculine presence every single week. And hit that notification bell so you never miss the subtle signals that most men ignore. Remember, women don't always use words, but if you learn to listen with your eyes and your silence, she'll say everything. This is Stoic Paradox. Stay grounded, stay wise, and as always observe, more, react, less, all for you.